Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos, and their youngest son, Joaquin Consuelos, have once again captured public attention. And this time, it's not because of a headline-making controversy or a major career move, but because of something far more powerful, a rare, genuine family moment that fans simply can't stop talking about, a moment that feels almost cinematic in its simplicity, yet deeply emotional in what it represents. The trio was recently spotted stepping out together in New York, and what might seem like a simple outing quickly turned into a viral moment across social media, gaining traction not because of extravagance or spectacle, but because of something far more meaningful: authenticity. It wasn't about where they were going, what luxury brand they were wearing, or who else was around them. Instead, it was about how they were together, relaxed, smiling, completely at ease, and most importantly, deeply connected in a way that felt natural and unforced. In an industry where so many public appearances feel staged, calculated, or overly polished, this moment stood out in a way that immediately resonated with people across the internet. Kelly Ripa, who has spent decades as one of the most recognizable and beloved faces in daytime television, looked effortlessly put together, blending her signature elegance with a casual, off-duty vibe that fans rarely get to see. There was no heavy studio glam, no scripted lines, no pressure of performing, just Kelly being herself. Fans who are used to seeing her under bright lights, perfectly styled and camera-ready, were drawn to this more relaxed version of her, one that still carried her undeniable charisma but felt more personal, more relatable, and more human. It's this duality, the polished professional and the down-to-earth mother, that has kept audiences connected to her for so many years. Right beside her, Mark Consuelos carried his usual calm, grounded, and quietly confident energy. Over time, Mark has evolved from being known primarily as an actor to becoming a beloved television personality in his own right, especially after joining Kelly as co-host. Their on-screen chemistry has only strengthened their public image as a couple that genuinely enjoys each other's company. But moments like this remind everyone that their bond goes far beyond television. In this setting, Mark wasn't playing a role or entertaining an audience. He was simply present, engaged, and fully immersed in being a husband and a father. His relaxed demeanor, his easy smile, and the way he interacted with both Kelly and Joaquin spoke volumes about the strength of their family dynamic. And then there was Joaquin Consuelos, who instantly became the emotional focal point for many fans watching this unfold. At 21, Joaquin represents a transition from the child many viewers remember hearing about on Kelly's show to a young adult who is now carving out his own identity. His presence in this outing wasn't just notable because it was rare, but because it symbolized growth, independence, and the passage of time. For longtime followers of the family, seeing Joaquin now feels almost surreal. It's a powerful reminder of how quickly years can pass, especially when you've watched someone grow up through stories, photos, and occasional glimpses shared on television. Unlike many celebrity children who grow up constantly in the spotlight, Joaquin has taken a different path. He has chosen a life that is more grounded, more focused, and less centered around fame. Currently attending the University of Michigan, he has dedicated himself to wrestling, a demanding and highly disciplined sport which requires both physical endurance and mental strength. This choice alone has earned him admiration, as it reflects a commitment to something real and challenging rather than simply following the path of celebrity. Kelly has often opened up about Joaquin's journey, sharing both humorous anecdotes and deeply emotional reflections. She has spoken about the challenges he faced growing up, the determination he showed in overcoming them, and the confidence he eventually found through wrestling. She once described how watching him compete brought a mix of pride and nerves, a feeling that many parents can instantly relate to. Mark, too, has echoed that pride, often highlighting Joaquin's work ethic and resilience, describing him as someone who truly understands the value of effort and perseverance. When Joaquin left for college, Kelly didn't hide how difficult that transition was for her. She joked about becoming an empty nester, but beneath the humor was a genuine emotional shift, the realization that her youngest child was stepping into adulthood and beginning a life of his own. That moment marked a new chapter for the entire family, one that came with both pride and a sense of loss. That's what makes this recent outing feel so significant. It's not just a casual walk through the city or a simple family hangout. It's a moment of reconnection, a pause in their busy, separate lives where they come back together as a unit. It reflects a deeper truth about family, that even as children grow older and carve out their own paths, those bonds remain, evolving but never breaking. As photos and clips from the outing began circulating online, fans reacted almost instantly, and the overwhelming response was positive. Social media platforms were flooded with comments expressing joy, nostalgia, and admiration. People weren't just reacting to how the family looked, they were responding to how the moment made them feel. There was something comforting about it, something that stood in contrast to the usual chaos of celebrity news.
Many fans pointed out how grounded the family appears, how their interactions feel genuine rather than performative. Others highlighted how refreshing it is to see a celebrity family that doesn't rely on controversy, drama, or constant media attention to stay relevant. Comments like, "This is so real," "They're such a beautiful family," and "This made me smile" became common across platforms. This kind of reaction doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of years of consistency, authenticity, and trust that Kelly and Mark have built with their audience. Their relationship, which began in the mid-1990s on the set of All My Children, has stood the test of time in an industry where that is far from guaranteed. Their decision to elope in 1996 set the tone for a partnership that has always prioritized substance over spectacle. Over the years, they've navigated career shifts, public scrutiny, and the challenges of raising children in the spotlight, all while maintaining a sense of balance that feels increasingly rare. Kelly has often emphasized the importance of communication, humor, and mutual respect in their relationship, while Mark has spoken about the value of showing up for each other consistently, even during difficult times. Their children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, are perhaps the clearest reflection of those values. Each of them has pursued their own path, supported but not overshadowed by their parents' fame. Michael has explored opportunities in entertainment, Lola has developed her voice in music, and Joaquin has dedicated himself to athletics. Together, they represent a family that encourages individuality while staying deeply connected. Joaquin's presence in this outing adds an emotional layer that goes beyond nostalgia. It represents continuity, growth, and the idea that family stories don't end, they evolve. Watching him walk alongside Kelly and Mark, confident and comfortable, feels like witnessing the next chapter of a story audiences have been following for decades. Mark's pride in his son was evident in the smallest details, the way he listened, the way he smiled, the ease of their interaction. It's a reminder that strong relationships are often built in quiet moments, not grand gestures. Kelly, with her natural warmth and humor, brought a sense of lightness to the scene, balancing the emotional depth with her signature energy. What makes this moment truly powerful is its simplicity. There were no dramatic announcements, no major reveals, no orchestrated headlines, just a family spending time together, reminding everyone watching that sometimes the most meaningful moments are the ones that aren't planned. In a world where celebrity culture often thrives on chaos, conflict, and constant attention, this outing offered something different, something calmer, more grounded, and ultimately more meaningful. It showed that authenticity still resonates, that genuine connection still matters, and that audiences are drawn to stories that reflect real life, not just curated perfection. For longtime fans, this moment feels like a continuation of a journey they've been part of for years. For newer viewers, it serves as an introduction to why Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos remain so widely respected and admired. It's not just about their careers or their fame, it's about how they've lived their lives, how they've raised their family, and how they've stayed true to themselves. As conversations around this outing continue, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This wasn't just a fleeting moment of attention, it was a reminder of something deeper, something lasting, a reminder that behind every public figure is a personal story, and in this case, that story is one of love, growth, and unwavering connection. And as Joaquin continues to grow and define his own path, there's a natural curiosity about what the future holds for him. Whether he chooses to remain out of the spotlight or eventually steps into a more public role, one thing is certain: he carries with him the values and foundation that Kelly and Mark have spent decades building. For now, though, this moment stands on its own, simple, genuine, and unforgettable, a rare glimpse into a family that continues to inspire, not through perfection, but through authenticity. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.